G'day guys, Dan here from Certified. Now I thought I'd do a video here just to prove that we are in fact operating off-grid. We're not just making it up when we tell our customers we run our whole operation with a standalone system. Now you can see here in the background and probably hear it, we've got a generator bearing away. Now obviously when you're doing off-grid you need to have a backup device to be able to account for that kind of weather pattern where you've got no sunlight for extended periods. We've had overcast weather and miserable weather for probably about 4 days here now in Gympie. So today's the first day the generator's actually been needed. Came into the office this morning, we're at about 4% battery capacity from its cut-off. And then this system's automatically fired up that generator for us to keep us powered up. Now, obviously the generator will run for an amount of time until it's not needed. If the sunlight comes out well enough to actually start absorbing into our smaller solar array here on the skid behind us. And in that, eventuation, basically that generator will completely shut down and then the solar will take over with silent power. So let's go upstairs and have a look at the monitoring, Obviously being a business, we can't interrupt power, so we need things to be operating. We've got all the computer systems, monitors, TVs, fridges, you name it, everything's running here, including electric hot water system. Now, looking at the monitoring, just coming a bit closer there, lad. We can see here currently, so our battery capacity got down quite low. We're already back up to 8.1% on our battery storage capacity here. We can see here, this little figure, that's actually showing what the generator's pumping into the system. So right now it's charging at 4,100, so that's going to keep changing as it fluctuates that input. And we can see the generator here with its rated output. This is all automatically controlled as well. We can see our internal loads here. So currently we're drawing about 614 watts with all of our electrical devices. The solar's putting in 676 watts and we can see the flow here. So basically the solar there is pumping power into the battery and the generator is also assisting with that flow, covering our loads to the AC for our internal supply, and it's also pumping the balance into the battery system there. So it's a brilliant little system. All off-grid solutions will operate like this with a backup device. We can also remotely control, up here, our generator run parameters. So if I want, I can actually shut down that generator right now, and let's just do that. So I'll hit stop generator. Yes, I want to stop. It'll take a moment. If we get to a point where we go, okay, right now we're consuming 600 watts, our solar's generating 669 watts, we're actually generating more than what we're consuming. So in that situation, we can let the solar basically take over and then cut that generator runtime out. Now we're just waiting for this to actually update. We've got pretty slow internet here. You can see it's loading up in that top corner. Waiting. Normally it's a bit quicker than this, but obviously we're having some internet supply issues here. Just close that out, go back in. Okay, so we're still putting in. I'm going to turn that auto start off. There we go. Now what we'll see here, if we just wait for that to kind of refresh, you can see it's already stopped the flow of power running through here. So right now the generator has actually stopped pumping power in. So what we can see here in this balance, just for an example's sake, our consumption is 622 watts, but our solar's now dropped down to 535 watts. So what's happened is the overcast conditions increased. So right now our solar's not actually generating enough to cover our loads, which means we can see here in our battery it's now discharging and it's drawing 176 watts and fluctuating from that battery. And you can see our solar's just taken an even bigger dive again. So essentially what we might do is we might turn that generator back on because we're getting unreliable performance from the solar because of the thick cloud cover coming over, affecting its performance. So we'll fire that generator up. We'll probably get our batteries up to about 30 or 40% and then see if the solar can take over. As the day progresses, hopefully we'll start getting some more sunlight here. There you go, perfect little example of how you live with an off-grid system. Obviously this is only in extended poor weather events. The more battery storage you've got, the longer the fuel tank you've got in there. So it's going to reduce your generator usage. If you've got just enough battery storage in there, you've got to be under the understanding that you might have to involve a bit more generator runtime. So it all comes down to doing the right design. Anyway, we'll fire that Jenny on, let that start force charging the system, and then we'll shut her off later on the day. G'day guys, so as a quick little conclusion, obviously we've had quite a few hours of run time with our generator. The weather's finally starting to come out and give us a little bit of sunlight, which is brilliant. So what we're looking at here, so basically the generator has brought our system up to 62% in the battery capacity, and this is obviously in conjunction with solar, and you can see the solar's really woken up now, starting to generate 1600 watts. We've seen periods where it's hit like 2000, 3000 watts up and down with the overcast weather. So, and our loads are still only about 545 watts. So what we'll do is we'll go into our settings now, up the top right. We'll turn our auto start off, and then we'll basically stop that generator here. There you go, I just heard the generator shut down in the background, so now we're back to silent power, which is lovely. And you can see the generator's now showing up as stopped in that setting here, and the solar's covering our loads inside the building and also charging the battery system. So now we're fine to basically run on silent power for the rest of the day. There you go, quick little conclusion, so you understand the operation of an off-grid system. And yeah, feel free to reach out to us and have a chat if you have any other questions. Cheers.